Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel, Cryptic Gaming. Yesterday, we crushed the HTML and built the skeleton of our game. Today, we're pouring in the secret sauce to make it look absolutely fire, CSS. Think of CSS like giving orders to a high-tech robot drawing on a massive canvas, your screen. These codes are the rules so the robot paints everything exactly how you want it. Let's break it down piece by piece. Part 1. The reset. Cleaning the slate. This part starts with the asterisk, brackets. In the CSS world, the asterisk is like saying, everyone, listen up. It sets the ground rules for every single element on our page. Margin, 0. Imagine every box has a personal space bubble so it doesn't bump into others. We're telling the robot, yo, get rid of that extra space outside the boxes. Make it 0. Padding, 0. If margin is the space outside, padding is the cushion inside the box, like bubble wrap inside a package. We're saying, no extra padding inside, keep it flat at 0. Box sizing, border box. This one is a total lifesaver. Usually, if you add padding, the box stretches and gets bloated. But with this, we tell the robot, look, if I say the box is 100 pixels wide, it stays 100 pixels, even if I stuff padding inside. No messy surprises. WebKit touch callout, none. And WebKit user select, none. Ever tried to long press text on your phone and that annoying copy-paste menu pops up? This code blocks that. We're basically telling the robot, don't let anyone touch or highlight our game text. Hands off! Part 2. The body, the main canvas. The body is basically the main paper, where the entire game is drawn. If the HTML is the skeleton, the body is the skin. Background, number 000. This is the command to paint the paper. Number 000 is the hex code for black. Now your game background looks dark and cool, like deep space. Height, 100 VH. And width, 100 VW. The V stands for viewport, your screen. We're saying, robot, make this paper fit the screen perfectly, whether it's a TV, a laptop, or a phone. Not a pixel too small. Not a pixel too big. Overflow. Hidden. You know those annoying scroll bars on the side of websites? This code deletes them. If anything tries to poke out of the screen, the robot just hides it so the screen stays clean and unshakable. Font family. This is the wardrobe for your text. The robot will try to use Sego UI first. If it can't find that, it'll try Tahoma, and so on, until it finds a font that looks sharp and professional. We've already got our black canvas ready, so now we're building a display shelf to hold your score, health bars, or the game menu. In this code, we're calling this shelf #UI. Imagine you want to put a scoreboard at the top of the screen, but it needs to float and stay locked in place no matter what. Here's how our robot makes it happen. The UI layer, the scoreboard hub. Position, fixed. This is the command to make the UI glued in place. No matter how much you scroll through the game, this scoreboard stays put. It's like a sticker stuck right on your TV screen. It's not going anywhere. Top, 10px. We're telling the robot, give it a little breathing room from the top, about 10 tiny steps, pixels. This way, the scoreboard isn't awkwardly hugging the very edge of the screen. Left, 50%. And transform, translate x, minus 50%. Okay, this is a pro magic trick to get things perfectly centered. 1. Left. 50% places the left edge of the board in the middle of the screen, which actually makes it look a bit too far to the right. 2. Transform, translate x, minus 50%. Slides the board back by half its own width. The result, your scoreboard is dead center. Perfectly balanced. No tilting to the left or right. Just pure symmetry. Width, 90%. We don't want the board to be tiny, but we also don't want it smashing into the sides of the screen. We set the width to 90% of the screen size, leaving a nice little gap on the left and right to keep it looking clean and aesthetic. Z-index, 100. Think of your game as a stack of papers. The players, enemies, and backgrounds are on the bottom sheets. By setting Z-index 100, we're putting this scoreboard on the very top sheet. That way, it never gets covered up by game characters or trees in the background. It's always visible. Pointer events, none. This is a secret ninja feature. Since the UI layer is wide, 90%, and often transparent, We don't want our mouse or fingers to get stuck on it. This code lets the player's touch pass through the UI to control the character behind it. Basically, the UI is there to be seen, not to get in the way of the action. So, if hashtag UI was our shelf, then .stats is the info box where your score or health points actually show up. Think of it like those sleek glass panels in your favorite RPG. Let's get into it so you guys can level up your coding game. Part 4. The stats box. The hype info panel. Background. RGBA 0000.8. This is how the robot makes a see-through black color. 000 is the code for black. 0.8 is the transparency level. It's black, but slightly ghostly, making it look modern and sleek, kind of like the tinted windows on a supercar. Color. Hashtag FFF. Easy peasy. This tells the robot to make the text pure white, so it pops and stays super readable against that dark background. Padding. 10px, 15px. Remember that inner cushion we talked about? 10px for top and bottom. 15px for the sides. This ensures your score isn't cramped against the edges. It gives your numbers some room to breathe. Border radius. 10px. This is a fan favorite. Instead of sharp, pointy corners, ouch, we're making them smooth and rounded. It gives your game a polished, high-end feel rather than looking like an old-school 90s website. Border. 1px solid number 444. We're adding a thin, dark gray outline. It's like a minimalist frame that makes the box stand out just enough. Subtle, but classy. Display. Flex. And justify. Content. Space between. This is the autopilot layout technique. Display. Flex tells the items inside, like score and level, to line up horizontally. Justify content. Space between acts like a referee saying, "All right, one person to the far left, one to the far right." It pushes your info to opposite ends automatically so you don't have to move them manually. Font size, 14px. Finally, we're setting the text size. Not so big that it hogs the screen, but not so tiny that you need a magnifying glass to see your high score. Alright, Cryptic Gaming fam, let's keep this momentum going. We're moving on to a component that is low-key the most important part of the vibes. We've got the score box, but now check out the hash dialog dash box. Think of this as the message hub that pops up when a character starts yapping, or when you hit that game over screen. This is where the game drops the most important intel for the player. Let's tear this code apart. Part 5. The dialog box. The main message hub. Background. RGBA 44, 62, 80, 0.95. Our robot isn't just using basic black here. The code 446280 creates a sick midnight blue, a super deep dark blue. The 0.95 means it's almost totally solid, hardly any transparency. This is so the player stays locked in on the text and doesn't get distracted by the chaos happening in the background. Color. White. Just like before, we're using white for the text. Simple, but it creates a massive contrast against that dark blue, making it super easy on the eyes. Padding, 15px. We're adding a 15px inner cushion on all sides. This gives your message plenty of room to breathe so it doesn't look all squashed and messy. Border, 2px solid hashtag FFF. Notice the difference? Unlike the stats box, we made this border thicker, 2px, and went with a milk white, hashtag FFF color. This makes the dialog box look way more official and important. Border radius, 8px. We rounded the corners just a bit to keep it looking modern, but not too bubbly. It's that clean, professional aesthetic we're going for. Margin top, 10px. Since this box sits right under the score shelf, we added a 10px outer gap on top. We don't want our boxes clumped together like people standing in a crowded line. Space is key. Text align. Center. This command tells the robot to center all the text. It makes every announcement look balanced and formal. Right in the middle of the box. Pointer events. Auto. This is huge. Remember how we set the main shelf, hashtag UI, to none so we could touch through it? Well, for this dialog box, we set it back to auto. This means This box can be clicked or tapped. If you have an OK or restart button inside, the player can actually hit it. Alright, Cryptic Gaming Squad, that's a wrap for today's video. We're going to pick this up in the next one if this video blows up, so stay tuned. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button, hit the like, and hey, if you didn't vibe with it, you can hit the dislike too. No hard feelings. Huge thanks to everyone who's already part of the sub club and liking the content. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.